Hey everybody, I'm Philip, and today I'm here to talk about Stranger Things, Season 5, Part 2, Episodes 5 through 7. That is a mouthful. I just finished it like literally a couple minutes ago. It is like 2 in the morning right now, because I couldn't start it until a little later, like many of you binged it. But yeah, let's get the elephant out of the room. For me personally, Will Byers finally comes out, and it was beautiful. I was weeping. Like my eyes are still kind of red, and I have the sniffles. I'm trying not to sniffle because I was just weeping like a little baby. Because I talked in the last installment from part one about how they were handling the character and how important it was. How I am a gay man, but I was a gay kid during that time frame, and I remember what it was like to be gay back then, and I remember coming out for the first time to my mom and then to my then best friend, and how terrified I was. And the fact that the Will Byers character had to come out in front of everyone, well, he chose to because of the circumstances of what happened with him and Vecna preying on his secrets and his fears. He wanted one less thing for Vecna to be able to use against him. And, for that character to do it the way he did was just extraordinarily powerful. And I know I've seen some people give crap to Noah for how he's been acting this season, but he knocked this scene out of the park. And Jonathan is not my favorite character, one of my least favorite characters actually. But Charlie Heaton absolutely nailed the performance in that role too. Everyone did. Just to see how concerned his friends were, to see how proud Robin was of him, and just the love he got afterwards was just trying to get emotional. It was really sweet. And I think that if I were a younger gay person growing up now, and I'd had that kind of person to look up to, that kind of strength to look up to, it would have been nice. Because back then we didn't have anyone. Because every single gay famous person was in the closet or bi. So it was just really touching. But I really respect the Duffer Brothers for how they handled the entire story arc this season of Will building up to this moment. How they handled the catalyst for him coming out. And just with the respect and authenticity that was displayed during the entire scene. Every gay person, everyone, has their coming out story. And mine, thankfully, was positive, when a lot of people's aren't. And that's one thing I am very grateful for. One of the few things in my early life, my childhood and teenage years, which were very tumultuous and very, very bad, very bad. But when I came out, I had the support, of people that I cared about. And so I'm glad that the character of Will Byers had that too. And I'm glad that the Duffer Brothers handled it with the gravitas that it needs. Because I don't think a lot of straight people realize the burden of being different. Like just saying I appreciate it and how it's handled isn't enough. Because this scene and this character is going to be so important. This character, Will Byers' character and his journey, and then coming out the way he did, is going to be so important for a lot of people. It's important to me, but I'm of an age now where it wouldn't be as beneficial to me. But if I were that age or younger, yeah, I appreciate the hell out of the Duffer Brothers bringing it into existence. And I want to hope that Noah had some input into it, because he himself is a gay man and he had to have an actual coming out himself in real life. And they could have handled this with like the kid gloves. We don't want to get too real with it, because when you talk about gay people and homosexuality, it's always tertiary. You can never get into the real feelings of it, because people don't want to admit this, but gay people are just like everybody else. We have the same feelings, the same fears, the same loves, the same everything. It just manifests itself differently. But I thought that at the outset, we should just automatically talk about the elephant in the room. So especially since I talked about it so much in part one, we've compartmentalized that. Let's talk about the part two, episodes 5 through 7. A lot of it I don't want to repeat from part 1 because a lot of it's true. I'm glad that the gang feels like a gang. I'm glad that, people who didn't feel like themselves, like Mike or Robin, still prove to be awesome characters now. I still hate the ever living shit out of Murray. By far the weakest character of the entire series. And I don't understand why he gets so much screen time. He adds nothing to the show. Like, he's supposed to be the comic relief, like the snarky comic relief. He's not funny. Every, snide bullshit thing he says is annoying. He acts annoying. He is annoying. The actor nails it in playing the character. So I'm not going to take anything away from him. But the character of Murray is the absolute dirt fucking worst. And I hate him. Every time he's on, he just drags the scenes down. I hate Murray so much. Let's just talk about overall feelings about part 2. I'm just going to come out and say it right now. Part 2 was okay. But it really feels like we are stalling for time. In the worst way possible. I don't think this needed to be 8 episodes. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like we are doing so much padding and so much just killing time on stuff. I'm not saying it has to be like bam, 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 bam. This just feels like, let's bring it back to the radio stations. We talk about that a lot in season 5. There's a lot of dead air going on. And not literally, there's not like literally dead moments on the show. If this were radio, there'd be a lot of dead air. And there were moments where I was just kind of bored with the plot. And it wasn't all bad, obviously. But there were just parts of the episodes that dragged. And I wasn't like, when one ended, I wasn't like, oh, I gotta watch the next one now. I did because I wanted to see what happened. But that spark, those cliffhangers, and that just didn't hit as hard. Even when Max and Holly escaped, it was fine. But I just don't think that this needed to be 8 episodes. I don't think they needed to do this in blocks like this. Because it's been like a month since the last one. Since the first 4. In the first episode, I had to jog my memory. It's like, hey, where's everybody at? Why are we here? What are we doing? What's this group doing? What's this group doing? What's this group doing? Now, I understand why they did the release schedule the way they did around the holidays. I don't necessarily think it was a good idea. I get why they did it, especially Netflix's marketing bullshit. I hate having to watch something from Netflix. Netflix is such trash right now. Just an absolute dumpster fire of bullshit. That's another reason I'm glad that the series is ending, so I don't have to support them anymore. Ugh. So I get from a marketing standpoint why they did it, but I think they should have just released one a week for 8 weeks leading up to New Year's Eve. I think that would have been better. I just don't think that the blocks are strong enough to justify the wait. Yeah, so that's that. As far as the plot goes, I'm not sure how I feel about the whole... The upside down isn't what we thought it was, and that wall isn't what we thought it was. It's like the wall of a wormhole, like the bridge to another world, and that's where Vecna lives. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like they keep trying to expand the lore, but every time they do, it kind of waters it down. Like, you go back to season 1, and granted, we can't keep season 1 forever. I know that. It can't be mysterious forever. I just think that in hindsight, we're going to look back and realize how they dicked around in season 3. And they dicked around again in season 4 in parts when they didn't need to. Season 3, I know a lot of people loved season 3. I know people liked it because it was fun and bright and 80s on the mall. I thought it was cringe and lame and had some of the worst moments of the entire season. So I just don't know. And then the military's there and they just feel like a sore thumb. And then the reveal we got with Kali and them trying to recreate more of them, of the children with powers. But they need 11 because she has Henry's blood. Kali doesn't, apparently. So I don't know. It just there's just parts that just don't seem necessary. And there are a few nitpicky things. We'll get to them in my notes. I just think that the plot feels simultaneously, we're going with that? Okay. And can we just get to the point already? It feels, like I said, this could have been like 5 episodes, it feels like. A very, a tighter season. I don't think that the wormhole plot, I mean, it's fine, it makes sense. But at the same time, eh. Like when they revealed it, I was like, oh, okay. But then I had time to sit with it through the rest of the episode and the next episode, and I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it. Like it's been the 11 show for so long, and it's not really anymore. And I do like that. I do like that 11's not the end all be all the time. But I don't understand why Kali is there. On one hand, I do respect the Duffer Brothers for trying to salvage one of the least liked episodes of all time. I didn't care for it either. I thought it was really strange. So fair play for trying to make something out of nothing and make it tie back into itself. But you could eliminate Murray and nothing changes. You could eliminate Kali and not a lot changes other than finding out what the military is doing. They could have found that out some other way. Or just omit it altogether. Did we really need Papa Part 2? Why can't it just be the gang versus Vecna? It feels like they're just throwing so much other crap in there, and it's like watering down the soup. And maybe the last episode will stick the landing, it'll be amazing, but I don't really think it will. I don't think it will. I think it'll be satisfying enough. Like even if you were to eat watery soup, you would get full eventually. You're not going to enjoy it as much as you would have if it wasn't watered down. That's kind of where I'm at. There's just so many characters you could remove. Let's go to my notes and see what I have written down. There's not many. I didn't take that many notes this time.
Philip's notes.
A lot of these I've already said. I'm begrudgingly watching Netflix. Why is Kali here? The bad thing about waiting is what's going on. Talked about that. I hate Murray so much. He's like the product placement character. Every time he's on, he has to like shill an item. He's the guy they have in the show just to make some more money off advertising. On episode 5, I wrote Steve and Dustin are so annoying. They became less annoying and finally figured their shit out. But until then, good God, they were really annoying. I believe it was Jonathan and Nancy when they were walking in the lab in the Upside Down. They mentioned that the air was clean, there was no spores. And I wrote, that doesn't matter anymore anyway. Remember when people used to have to wear respirators in the Upside Down? You just go in there and breathe the air all you want, because that was a plot beat that they referenced it. Don't really matter though, so, okay. My favorite part of episode 5 was when Will took over Vecna. Thought that was really cool. When Vecna was going after Holly and Max. And we find out that the shield generator is not a shield generator. It is a crazy matter. I'll put it on the screen what they said it was. Can't remember at the moment. It was some kind of matter. Where they thought it was like the reason that the wall was there. But it's not. I don't know. I don't think any of that was necessary. But again, I could be alone on that one. Going to episode 6. Again, I didn't take many notes. We find out Vecna didn't make the wall. Find out that it is, in fact, the wormhole. That the Upside Down isn't the Upside Down. We see the scene with the kids and Vecna floating there, and there's like a pulsing heart thing above him. And I wrote, Vecna heart foreshadowing. And then Nancy shoots the shield generator. I can't, my hands are free, but using quotes, shield generator. And sets this pulse out, which starts tearing apart the bridge. And I'll probably mention things as it comes to me not from the notes, just letting you know in advance, because I keep suppressing things I want to say. Like the whole Kali and L thing. Put a pin in that. But after the shield generator, in quotes, gets shot, you see Hopper, L, and Kali trying to get out. They see Rift. Then next thing you know, they're just meeting up with the gang. They just got out. We have to focus on other things, but we can't focus on them actually getting out, which I know they probably just crawled through. We've seen it happen. We didn't need to see it. But I don't know if we really needed to see Robin and her girlfriend having a hospital argument. I don't know. we could have kept that in and just cut out Murray completely. You cut out Murray completely, that frees up more time to either A, make the episode shorter, or do something else. Show the three of them getting out of the Upside Down. That's a nitpick, I know. So then Nancy and Jonathan are in the goop room, the little melty room. In any other show, this would be a lot more impactful, but it's not, because no one is ever in any real danger in this show. And I wrote, there's no real danger, so you can't become invested in this moment because you know that nothing's going to happen to them. You know eventually Steve and Dustin are going to save them. And they did. Them being close to death never, ever felt like it was actually going to happen. So the heartfelt moment wasn't as heartfelt because you knew they were going to get out, because there's no real stakes in this show. No one's ever in real danger. I'm assuming Kali's going to die. That's why she's here, to be fodder. Like, my next note was even Kali and Vicky are kind of unnecessary. Now, Vicky served a purpose in the hospital in getting Max out. In their little honesty talk, Nancy tells Jonathan, Steve has better hair than you, like way better. And I wrote, amen, sister, amen. Then I think we saw that Henry wasn't born with powers. Because when Max and Holly are trying to escape, I put this down, this is giving, holding it is aggravating my arthritis. When they're trying to escape, they're in one of Henry's memories. He's like a Boy Scout trying to rescue this guy who is paranoid and shoots at him, but he's carrying this briefcase. And we never see what's in it. We just see Henry opening it. So I'm assuming there's a train. If you can hear it, I do apologize. So I'm assuming Henry got his powers from that, whatever that was. So Henry is not the origin of whatever it is. Something was in that briefcase, and the guy was running with it, trying to escape, and he fell down the mine shaft. And Henry tried to help him, and then got magic powers because of it. Which is an interesting development. I don't think it's really necessary. I think we could have just left. Like, I get they want to do the whole, like, Henry has a memory that he's afraid of, not just the cave. Like, why he's afraid of the cave. We're trying to explain that. I was fine with the Henry origin story being what it was that we got last season. We'll see how it plays out. We have one more episode to go. And then I mentioned Vicky helping Max to escape. And probably one of the most annoying scenes of this block was when the demo dogs are in the laundry room of the hospital. And they're taking 5,000 years to get to the group. Because you had Lucas and Max and Vicky and Robin. And then Mrs. Wheeler comes in and explodes them, which was a badass scene for her. Thought that was really cool. In and of itself, it was fine. But if you dig beneath the surface of that, it's kind of like, what? You just happen to sneak in, put a very big metal canister in a dryer, but you're not going to be able to, like, put it in there, like, silently. It's going to clank. It was like slasher villain is super quiet until they're on top of you and then they kill you. That kind of thing. And then the demo dog's taking like 5 billion years to get to them. It was absurd. It was easily the stupidest scene of this block. I can't say of the entire season yet because we're not there yet. But it was really dumb. It was just padding out suspense when there's no one's ever in danger in this show. You can't get invested. You can't. And that sucks. Like, we have such a bloated cast and we have a handful of absolutely unnecessary characters. I didn't like the scene. I liked Mrs. Wheeler being badass. And Max coming back was awesome. And Lucas, the actor who plays Lucas, acted his ass off when she came back. That was just fantastic. But I thought the demo dog scene was dumb. I even wrote, are you effing kidding me? I'm censoring myself now. And then, wasn't the worst scene, because I think the demo dog scene was the worst scene. But this was an irritating scene. Last time Max almost got out, the little portal thing closed because she's just like, I'm going to walk as slowly as possible. And there's a moment where her and Holly can get out. Their portals are right there. I don't even mind them talking for like 75 years when she's trying to put some confidence and whatever into Holly. I think they have really good chemistry together. But good God, do you have to walk in? Like, eventually they did run to the respective magic portals. If I'd done reactions to this, it just would have been me saying, will you please fucking run? Over and over and over. Just when you get through the rocks and you're walking into the weird Vecna land, start running. Yeah, I wrote will you effing run twice. I did like how, though, Max is like, this is my portal. You can't come with me. You got to find your own portal. And I thought, you could have told her that sooner. Right? That was really good. Way to spring that on her, because, like, this little girl is thinking she's going to escape with you. And you're like, oh, no, you can't come with me. You have to find your own way out. It worked out because it's Stranger Things, but it was kind of funny that she just kind of sprung it on her. All right, let's go to episode 7. And I have like 4 notes for this. My first note is, shut the fuck up, Murray. Like when they're all trying to formulate the plan in the like radio station, and Murray's just being a dickhead about it because that's all his character is. Or when they're trying to triangulate the thing, and he keeps calling the teacher Snookums. It's like, will you shut the fuck up? I fucking hate Murray so much. He is so obnoxious. He ruins the show. Every scene he's in, he ruins the show. Then someone asks about the Upside Down. Is this shit safe to breathe? Again, I said, it doesn't matter. It's been safe to breathe for a long, long time. And then I wrote, Kali's up to something, taking the pin out of that. People might disagree with me that she is pointless, but she wants them to pretty much self-sacrifice after they defeat their brother. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. Like, I don't think Hopper will let it happen. It feels like they're going to defeat Vecna, and then it's going to be Kali versus Elle versus Hopper. And I don't know. Like I said before, I can, on one hand, respect what they're trying to do with bringing her back. But on the other hand, I don't know. It's just. And that is all for my notes. Anything else are for my patrons over on Patreon. And that is Stranger Things, Season 5, Part 2, Episodes 5 through 7. Was it worth the month-long wait? No, I don't think it was. Aside from the scene of Will coming out, I think that was absolutely worth the wait. We've been waiting for that for seasons now. And I thought they handled it with just a lot of class and a lot of gravitas, as said. And yeah, highlight of the season and possibly the series. It was just really well done. The next one, the final episode, is going to be on New Year's Eve, I think. So in about a week. Unless that thing's like 2 hours long. I don't understand. I don't know. Yeah. I think the season kind of parallels Lost a little bit. And hear me out. Like, I probably won't be mad when it's over. And the way that they wrap it up, I'm not going to hate it. But I will think that they spent way too many seasons dicking around on stuff they shouldn't have. And kept with a tighter, like, plot. And the last season just has stuff in it that But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe they will do something amazing in the last episode. But from what we're building up with the Vecna fight, how they're going to get there, Kali waiting in the wings, Hopper waiting in the wings. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But if you watched Stranger Things Season 5, Part 2, what did you think? What was your favorite scene? And what didn't you like? All right, I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm going to work on this one, try and have it up before bed if possible. So as always, I don't have a fancy outro, so I will simply say thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next one. As far as this goes, next week for episode 8, part 3. Until then.